Alofa, Samoan Rika. I'm here with a good friend of mine and big time kickboxer with a huge history in New Zealand and Australian kickboxing. And he's found success with his gym over here in Ngāri Warren, Scammer Gym, shout out. I'll be posting that on. So how are you, Clay? Good to see you. It's been a while, isn't it?
I know, man.
Hey, always seem to bump into all my friends back from AO, all the superstars. So what's been happening, man?
Nothing, man. We're just prodding away, you know, trying to do old people stuff.
Oh, man, you don't look old, man. You look like a young fella. Look like you've been jumping in some ice buckets, some icy water. Tell me about that. What's happening about that?
Hey, man, you got to get on it, man. This cold therapy thing has changed a lot of lives. It's changed perspective that you know, that Western medicine has been fooling us for so many years. I'm absolutely 100% sure about it because it's worked for me. Except last couple of years, man. No cold, no flu, you know. Body feels rejuvenated. My joints are back.
All right.
And I'm back punching all the little kids' faces in.
Oh, those! Jeez, I still remember those days. Yeah. So tell us just quickly. Tell us a little bit about that cold water.
Cold water therapy, man.
Yeah.
It started. Well, you know, it's probably most popular because of a guy named Wim Hof. He's revolutionised what we know about, you know, the way medicine works and the way it doesn't work and all these scams that they've been doing. But I'm a diabetic, Seth.
Yep.
I'm a diabetic. 2 years ago when I started this, you know, this Wim Hof stuff, it took me about 3.5 to 4 weeks, and my blood sugar levels were normal.
Okay.
Normal, straight normal. You know, I couldn't believe it. The doctors couldn't believe it. They said, no, keep taking this. Little by little, I stopped all of my medications, but at the same time, you know, you gotta if you're gonna make the change, you gotta make the change completely, and not go back and forth with eating what you shouldn't eat.
Okay.
And it's not about eliminating good food; it's about eating good food and eliminating bad food.
Okay.
You know, that's the secret to health. It's just.
And they're all the obvious bad foods.
Just the obvious bad foods.
Okay.
Like at the same time, you know, eat everything in moderation.
Okay.
Everything you can enjoy. Just you can't.
It's pretty hard for us fellas, Hummels and Pacific Islanders. We all like the bad stuff, eh? We all like it a lot.
I know. I mean, but at the same time, you know, sometimes what people think is bad it's not that bad, you know. Okay. You just have to educate yourself in how much of it you can consume and what you can't consume. The two main things that I normally stay away from because of my diabetes and things that I've had in the past is it's just mainly sugar, you know, white sugar or any kind of and flour, things with, you know, unnatural carbohydrate.
So in other words, get rid of the white stuff, and the darker the better.
The darker the better.
Oh man, sounds good, man. Sounds healthy. I feel healthy already. All right. So as a Samoan, so what can you know? Because I'm sure there's a lot of Samoans that are coming up against this with the whole diabetes things. You know, with the overweight problems that they have. Which I think is totally westernized. I think since we started eating their foods, you know, things changed. You know, but yeah, what can you tell Samoans about change? Like, because it's a big thing to give up a lot of their diet. Is what our culture is built around.
I know, but we come from a culture of one of the, if not the strongest biological beings on earth. Yep. That I believe. Okay. That I believe, because we ran through the Pacific for hundreds of years, being, you know, naturally one of the most physically strongest people on earth. Why? Because we lived on a vegetable diet of organic foods. until someone turned up and gave us freaking flour and bread and shit like that. That's why we've you know, all of a sudden now diabetes is killing our people left, right and centre. It's because we're not supposed to be putting all this other stuff in our bodies. I'm a culprit of that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? I love it because it's become a habit.
Yeah.
I cook bread better than anyone else. Yeah. I can cook bread better than anything else, but every time I
love fried bread.
I know, bro. But that's the truth, man. You know, everything that you know, anything that doesn't sort of get made organically or you know, pure.
Yep.
Bad.
Okay. Well, no, thanks for that. You know, sharing that. I'm sure a lot of Polynesians out there, you know, would like a bit of direction on what they do with this sort of stuff. Because you know, it's starting to come up in, you know, pretty epidemic proportions for Polynesians.
Yeah.
The whole diabetes things, and it's pretty sad.
It is, bro. It's you know, but it's all about education. That's it.
Okay.
You know, our parents have got to, you know, mums and dads have got to, you know, they got to get good with it.
Okay.
And make sure that we don't shop at these shops. We don't shop at these normal stores where we're buying all these bad foods.
Okay.
You know, I guess I can't name any of them, but But at the same time, you know, it's just common sense.
Yep.
You know, if you know something's been grown in the ground and it hasn't been pesticide or any, you know, hasn't been chemically enhanced, it's got to be good for you. Of course it's got to be good for you. Sometimes these days, even the dirt that we use to grow our plants isn't good.
Yeah, okay.
You know, because so many chemicals in the earth these days, you've got to be very careful about that. So we can't get away from it. We're, you know, we're all getting, you know, we're all getting hit left, right and centre with all of this junk, and it's just killing our people. Yeah,
it's like sciences like that, like Polynesians, you know, that's their bread and butter. They know all about the soil. They know what to do with it, you know, where to plant stuff and stuff. They plant stuff anywhere, eh? Yeah. But and then when you come over to you know, places like Australia and stuff like this, especially around the metropolitan areas, and it's hard to find, you know, soil that hasn't been, you know, that hasn't got chemicals or anything like that in it. And I think we take it for granted that you just plant anything and, you know, it'll grow. But unbeknownst that, you know, that there's things that are, you know, coming off of those things that you grow in your backyard as well.
I was in Samoa just you know, just a few months ago, Sep. I was in Samoa.
Yeah.
That was the best period of time my body ever went through.
Wow.
Because on my land was nothing but organic vegetables.
Okay.
And I couldn't believe, you know, what I walked out every morning, grabbed this and grabbed that and put it in a pot or cooked it up in the umu. And I thought, you know, our whole lives in New Zealand we were taught, you know, can't eat too much umu and stuff like that because, you know, okay, fair enough, because we're not sure where the taro and banana and all the pork and everything comes from in New Zealand, but in Samoa everything is still organic. Everything is still from the, you know, from the ground to your table.
Whereabouts in Samoa are you from?
I'm from Malie. I'm from Malie in Upolu.
In Upolu?
Yeah, in Upolu.
Whereabouts is that?
Sort of like just above the top of Upolu. You know, about maybe 30 minutes out from Apia.
Is it on the south side or on the west side?
Sort of like north.
North.
Yeah, northeast.
Okay.
Northeast. Northwest.
Northwest.
Of Apia. So,
yep,
you know,
yep.
I might be wrong about that, but
well, I'm still trying to navigate my way around and find out where's where. I know the south side's where I'm from. You know, I'm from Lefanga.
Yeah, so Lefanga's a bit further down from where we are.
Yeah.
But, our people should never. Some of us should never have left there, Sep.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I feel. I grew up in New Zealand all my life.
Yeah.
Only been back to Samoa once, and that was earlier this year. And I can actually see myself going back there, living out the rest of my days, because everything there just feels like home. You know, and I know I could live off the land there.
So how old were you when you went back?
Two. I wish I could tell you a Kunta Kinte story,
Yeah.
Seb, how I was dragged from there, but no, it was...
So you left there when you were 2 and you went back. How old were you when you revisited Samoa?
49.
This year?
This year, bro.
Oh, that's crazy.
I know. I'm the only one out of my whole family that hasn't been there, you know, hasn't gone there on trips, and I've had plenty of opportunity.
Okay.
Plenty of opportunity to visit Samoa back in, you know, a few times, but I never did, and I regret it now because the one time that I have done, man, what a place.
Yeah.
Beautiful, man.
And just tell me about that experience. Tell me how you felt. Like, were you nervous? Like what were you when you first stepped off the plane? Like, what were you expecting?
No, you know,
what were your expectations of Samoa?
No, you just think, oh, look, I'll be honest with you, man. You think, you know, what the hell?
Yeah.
You know, it's probably just some, you know,
just beaches,
uncivilized dudes walking around, talking crap, and you know. But nah, man, you know. People used to say to me, and they say in songs and in poems that Samoa is one of the friendliest places on earth.
Yes.
You know, our experience of growing up in South Auckland. Well, there's probably not one single friendly person in South Auckland, but hey, man.
Man, there's heaps of friendly people.
I don't know, man. Maybe I was just in the wrong circles, but at the same time, I got off that plane. And you're greeted with a smile, and from there on, the trip was just, you know, a trip down of family history and, you know, a country that we should always, you know, go back to and you know, and
all right,
do something for.
We'll head back to Samoa, but let's take it back, you know, while we're on South Auckland. So you grew up in South Auckland?
Angry, yeah.
Well, whereabouts in Mangere?
I grew up in Cottingham Crescent, which is, I guess, the high school marks the point. The high school around that area was Ngāi College. Okay. And me and all the boys that I grew up with and all the people that I grew up with, we all went to Ngāi College. So,
man, you know what? I don't know. I never knew anybody from Ngāi.
Yeah.
But the more people, I'm like realizing there were so many cool dudes that went to that school. Like now when I think back on it, like when I played for Mangere East, there was a lot of really good players that come out of from Ngāi. Like, and I'm like, well, how could you win to Ngāi? They got nothing there. Like,
no. Oh, well, that's because we were harnessing our skills at lunchtime and playtime.
Okay.
Taking each other's heads off and you know. Rugby games with no rules.
That's a shame, eh? That you guys didn't have a rugby team.
Yeah, there's no sidelines. So if you keep running, you'd end up on the street.
It's almost like prison ball.
Prison ball. That's what it was.
Like, you know, on the tennis courts or something.
Yeah, man.
All right, and what was, so you enjoyed your experience at Ngāi?
Absolutely loved the sport.
You just went there to eat your lunch and play sport
and sing songs.
Yeah. Wow, Lord.
I tell you what, Seb. I was probably the worst. I was the worst. I found school very difficult.
Okay.
But at the same, and that was just in the classroom, you know, maths, English, whatever. But I found absolute pleasure in the music, learning music and doing music and being in choirs.
Okay.
And man, on the sports field, that's where I love to be. I love to be involved in any sport. You know, Ngāi College, I represented that school, and we won volleyball tournaments. We won Auckland Championships. We won North Island Championships. Yeah. As a volleyball player, and then
you were a bit of an athlete back then.
Oh man, I ventured across, you know, a lot of stuff. You know, a lot of sport. I loved my rugby, and I loved my rugby league.
Was there a bit of fighting around at that time as well?
I was always fighting. I was always, me and my brothers were always boxing.
Okay.
But at the same time, you know, like sometimes you should have said, "Oh, I should stop that and carry on with that." But life back those days, you know, you just wanted to do everything all at the same time.
Yeah, because I remember when you came to AO, you and Bruce came over to AO, and I knew you as a boxer. Everybody was saying how shit a boxer you were and stuff like that. And there was another thing as well that you were into as well. You were doing some you and Bruce were doing bodybuilding.
Oh,
hey, tell us about that, man.
Oh, bro.
Come in, all wide chested, like the watermelons under your arms.
Right. Bodybuilding is a girl sport, man.
Oh. This is what the tracks girls or girls do it? What, I don't understand.
I'll leave that one to your imagination.
All right, because you and Bruce were hardcore into it, man.
We loved it, right? Yeah. Bodybuilding gave us a sense of something different in the area. I was always known as family. And my family is known for boxing, known for rugby, league. As soon as I took all my clothes off and stood there in my undies, bro, it was another world. It was a whole nother world, bro. Okay,
so you like to take care of yourself, you like to maintain. Is that how it started? Like,
oh yeah, well, I used to go to the gym. I used to go to the gym in Otahu with. So before I went to boxing gym, which was a little bit later on in the evening, I'd go straight after school. Me and Bruce Glosia would head up to Otahu and would go to Emmanuel's health centre. Okay. And we used to pump weights there, and Emmanuel and a couple of the other guys. I remember a big guy named Aloha Leniu. He was a big Tongan guy. Okay. She's John, I can't remember John's surname, but they were all bodybuilders. Wow. And these Tongan boys would look at me and they go, hey, if you got into this, you'd be pretty good. Yeah. I always had natural calf muscles and natural thigh muscles, and they said, got good legs. Yeah. Good legs for this sport, and after a while you get caught up in it. Yeah. And you also see how, girls react to guys with muscles. Okay. So that was very easy to pick up the weights and start training. And it was also an escape from getting punched around all the time in boxing and that other lifestyle that I had. Okay. So it was a little bit of a step away from the other sport, but at the same time, man, I loved it all. Well, I mean, it's pretty good because I think you start off setting yourself some goals on where you should be and stuff like that. You start working towards it. Yeah. Is it a bit like how you planned out your life? Like did you put a lot of goals in front of you? I think when if I said to you that I planned my life, at that point I don't know whether it would be true or false. Yeah. All I know is I was the type of person that if I thought something looked good, and I thought it was, an avenue to gain some sort of recognition, I would do it. I was like that with my rugby. Every time someone said, "Hey, man, you could be good at this," that would inspire me to carry on with it, to do better. Wow. It was like when I was 10. My mother used to say she used to force me to sing in church and stuff like that. My brothers were against it because they all couldn't sing. But I could sing a little bit. But then what really captivated me was standing in front of people and watching people smile and saying, it wasn't too bad. So that inspired me to do things in front of people. Wow. The number one reason why I started singing, Seth, is because as a kid I think it was around age 6, I had this stutter. Okay. I could not hold a sentence with you, Seth, if you tried. Sounded like I can still do it quite naturally if you made me. It wouldn't be an act. I could actually stutter, and it wouldn't be an actual made up stutter. It'll be okay. So it's still there. Okay. But so how do you what do you call it? How do you deal with it? Like music, bro. Wow. I found it in you and I both know Terence Maskell. Yes. And Terence Maskell met me when I was 10. Yep. And he said to me, "You got a decent voice, but we have to do something about that stupid stutter." Okay. And if there's one thing in my whole life that I wanted to get rid of, bro, it was stuttering. Yeah, okay. The only thing I ever wanted to do at that age was hold a conversation with you. Okay. And that was it. When that man started teaching me freaking, okay, this is how you read a book. Once upon a time, I said, I'm not reading it, I'm singing it. He goes, no shit. And it's all about tones and tunes. And bringing those tones and tunes to words.
Okay.
Melodically putting a word into a manner that it makes the word float. And then it sinks in. And then it flows. And I can explain that so well to people, to kids, that I could teach this because Terence Maskell, Dave Crooks, and a couple of other people back then, they taught me that.
Okay.
It's amazing, man. That's
so it filtered through your singing,
through music,
and then all of a sudden you could carry a conversation?
I can carry a conversation because it was just about breaking up the words, having them in my mind first, rather than just spitting the word out.
Yes.
Because when you do that and you're trying to just verbalize instinctively, how can you when your brain doesn't know what the word is that you want to say? That's how simple it kind of sounds. But for a young person with that kind of problem, it's not simple. But it's just about slowing things down, presenting it to your brain first, and then trying to verbalize it. And I know how to explain this so well, Seth, because it was a major thing in my life.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty amazing. Like,
impressed me.
You definitely have a surefire philosophy on especially, and it's tried and it's proven. You've been through it and you've done it.
Yeah.
I find out I didn't even know you were singing. Were you in the choir?
Bro, I was in every choir from Form 1 all the way through until I left Tapuai.
Were you in the AO choir?
Actually, I went to Aurere and Maskell put me in the choir there too.
Was I in the choir with you? No?
I can't remember.
When I was at AO, I was in the choir.
I think you were, bro. And Foots. I think you and Foots were in the choir.
Nah, Foots wasn't. Foots wasn't.
I can't remember. Oh, well, I mean, the Sangalas were there with me.
Yep.
John and his younger brother. They were there with me in that choir. And I used to enjoy it, but pretend that I didn't love it.
Okay.
I used to enjoy singing in the choirs. I used to enjoy singing in competitions. I used to do a lot of talent quests and stuff like that. And I did well in a lot of them. But at the same time, there was another life that I led that had nothing to do with all that stuff. You know?
And you didn't think to carry that on and take your singing further?
Oh, of course I did. Of course I did.
How far did you take it?
Not far at all.
Okay.
You know? As soon as I began,
just in a boxing ring, that's it?
Yeah. Like, I remember my older brothers used to throw me into talent quests.
Wow.
And it was only for their own benefit. You know, I used to win some local karaoke competitions. And it'll be like $200 for the winner or whatever. I wouldn't see a cent of that. My older brothers would take the money and tell me to go home because I was still underage at the time. You know, but I loved it. Even working in nightclubs later on in life when I got older, there was one thing I always got to do was I got to meet and know music people in the music industry. You know, bands and you know, I remember doing a gig with the original Herbs.
That's amazing.
And you know, doing Long Ago with Willie Hona himself. You know, and this is in like a little bar in the city. And you know, I was like, you know, for me it was like a big deal. For these guys, you know, they had made their hits. And now they were back playing in bars and stuff.
Yep.
And,
oh man, I'd see them any day. Like
one night, you know, Willie Hunter just goes, "Hey, jump up on the air," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll jump up on there, no worries."
Wow.
You know, from there, like, you know, I've done duets with Tina Cross back in the day.
Tina Cross,
no one knows,
awesome, man.
No one knows who Tina Cross is, bro.
Like, I know who she was. Man, she was hot ass.
You know, I backed her a couple of times. She played at Stanley's.
Yeah.
You know, because I was always sort of like I was a security guard at the clubs, but I always
Stanley's. Where was Stanley's?
Stanley's was on Queen Street. It was right next to 202.
Okay.
So she used to be there with I I can't remember. Peter Bishop, I think his name was.
Did you go down? Did you have to walk downstairs, like
upstairs to go to
okay.
Stanley's?
All right.
Yeah, but it used to be owned by a guy named Stanley.
Yep.
A little bit of an upmarket sort of club back in nowadays.
And you were bouncing back then?
Yeah, so I used to look after 202.
Yeah.
Me and Ronnie Seffel and Ray Seffel. So we used to look after 202. We looked after Stanley's club because Stanley was probably one of the one of the places to be back then.
Okay.
And we used to look after a couple of other places down on Queen Street as well.
So Ray was bouncing with you as well?
Yeah, man, he was.
So he's all knocking about, like
Yeah.
You all kickboxing as well?
Yeah, I met Ray. I met Ray and the boys when I was 18. When I first started doing security work.
Okay.
And one night, it was a New Year's when I met Ray and the boys, and we met at Custom House.
Okay.
And John Conway calls me over and says, I just finished doing a bar down the road, New Year's. All the bars back then were closed early at New Year's, except for Custom House.
Yep.
Went there, put on a t-shirt, and I worked with Ray Seffel and a lot of the League R boys. That's how we met.
Okay.
That night, we had 7 fights with 7 massive groups of guys. And,
busy night.
It was very busy. It was like it was just like being in a friggin' tournament, a K1 tournament.
Well, it's nice like that. That's where legends are born, eh? Like,
well, man, you either stood your ground or you got knocked out.
Yep.
And that's just how it was. Back
so what period are we talking? We're talking about the 90s, 80s?
So
late 80s?
I grew up in the 80s.
Okay.
I met Ray and the boys when I was 18. That was in 1990.
Okay.
Just a little bit after 1990. What year were we? 89, wasn't it? 89, 90.
Well, 1990, you would have been 20.
Yeah, I met those fellas in 1990.
Okay.
Just before I turned 20.
Wow.
I got married at 19.
Yep.
Me and France got married at 19. Met Ray and the boys when I was around about 1920.
And then Francis is your childhood sweetheart.
Yeah, bro. Can't get away from her.
Shucks. That's so good. The old Sth Auckland girl as well.
Yep.
Another top girl?
Another top, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Shucks. Tell us again how you ended up at AO? You got kicked out of Ngātap, no?
No, I didn't get kicked out. Ngātap wasn't allowed rugby or rugby league. Mr. Muruwai.
Yeah.
Mr. Muruwai from Auimatagi College.
Yeah. Tom. Yeah.
Yes, he used to come down and watch. He used to come down and watch our games on a Saturday when I used to play for Manukau.
Yep.
And also on a Sunday when I used to play for Auckland for the representative sides.
Okay.
Yeah, he came specifically, and I didn't know that, but he came and then one week he said, how would you like to come play for Auimatagi College, at the start of the season?
Yep.
The following season. I says, oh, I'd love to. I said I'd love to because Auimatagi College was back then.
Yeah, I think we were in A grade. I think.
And it was a step up from Ngātapuai, probably about 10 steps up.
Yeah.
On that side of it. But at the same time, when you get offered to come, everything else doesn't matter. And also the fact was that Francis had moved out of our area and lived 3-4 doors down from Auimatagi College.
Okay.
And so it was a good opportunity also to be near where she lived at the time. But the rugby was what brought me over to Auimatagi College, and he said to me if I wanted to, I'd captain the team, and I said, yeah, I'd love to do that.
Fuck, so many doors were there for you to open up, like back in with the singing, and whatever avenue you wanted to take. Okay, and tell us about so what happened there? You come to AO.
Yeah, I came.
There's a whole new different. Yeah. You were the new kid on the block. You and Bruce.
Yeah.
How'd you wrangle that fellow to come around too?
Oh, he just followed me wherever I went, and Bruce is more of he's a ladies' man.
Yeah. Okay.
He had it in his head, man, there's a lot of nice looking girls that go to Auimatagi College.
Yeah.
I said, dude, we're going there to play rugby. He goes, And there's a lot of nice looking girls that are already there.
I can't even remember Bruce playing rugby either.
Yeah, he played.
Okay.
Like it wasn't really his number one thing that he loved, but you know, back then, man, me and my mate, we kind of worked off each other.
Yeah.
And we both.
Well, he was definitely a hit with the girls.
Yeah.
When he came, Bruce Glossier. Yeah. Shout out, Bruce. He now owns his own his boxing organisation.
Yeah, he's one of the top 2 promoters in New Zealand now, of boxing in New Zealand.
Man, he's doing really well, isn't he?
He's doing well, man. He's back and forth.
We'll claim him, AO.
I know.
Yeah, just wipe the top out away from on his resume. Just keep AO on there. Yeah, but no, that's awesome, man. He's there was something definitely about you used to when you came.
Yeah.
You've brought something, you know, like a lot of guys that came from different, like Clint that came from Mangere College. You guys come from TUP, and I'm sure other guys that came from other schools as well. They always seem to bring something that sort of disrupted the way that things went, you know, at AO, and sort of it was good. It opened a lot of eyes, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so you played rugby and that went well for you.
Yeah, like
you enjoyed it.
Oh, I enjoy it. I enjoy anything where I can, you know, where I can jump in and be a part of a sporting team or an individual sport. I enjoyed all of that.
So at that time that you were at AO and you're playing rugby and you know your weekends would have been taken, or your Saturdays, that's for sure, playing rugby. Plus your trainings and stuff like that. Were you still boxing as well? Were you?
Yeah, I was still
kickboxing.
No, I didn't do kickboxing until I actually left school.
Yeah.
And started security work, but
okay.
Yeah, I didn't really. I'd always planned on looking at martial arts and stuff like that to get back into that sort of stuff, but no, not really. You know, it was just boxing, rugby, and
so and just generally, what was the experience like going to a new high school? Like,
oh man, you know, you go from.
You made a lot of friends there.
It's like going from. Put it this way, it's like going from, you know, slum of South Central or whatever and going into 90210.
You know what, but that was back then, eh? I'll tell you, because I came from, I was out of zone as well. I was supposed to go to MC and possibly Ngāi as well.
Yeah.
But my parents said, no, you're going to AO. So I had to actually go stay with my cousins to be in zone. So I stayed with my cousins for a year or two. And it was definitely totally different. Like it was at that time it was just split down the middle. There was predominantly a lot of white Kiwis at that time. I think more and more the islanders started creeping in. You know, I don't know whether for the same reasons that you guys came, but it was just a great time. It was a great place. AO in the 80s, loved it.
We loved it, man.
And then, all right, so that was AO. And so what happened after high school? Like
after high school, look, we just carried on with the bodybuilding stuff, and and I thought at that point in time in my life, I thought, man, I'm gonna really push the rugby.
Okay.
Because it was you know, everyone's opinion that. Just like my 2 older brothers, you know, I'd probably do all right.
Yeah.
And then I'd already been offered, you know, to play seniors.
Okay.
Every now and then.
Yeah.
And I was barely 18.
Wow.
You know, so the opportunity was there for me to keep growing my rugby career if I wanted to. Representatively, I stuffed it up myself.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us about that. How did you stuff it up? Like
I stuff up representative rugby by letting my temper get the best of me.
Yep.
We were playing on Eden Park.
Yep.
Playing on Eden Park #1. We were curtain raiser. We were curtain raiser for one of the Ranfurly Shield challenges.
Massive.
And you've got all the All Blacks at the time.
Yep.
You know, one of the guys that used to coach me quite regularly, what do you call it? Oh, geez, their names all skip my bloody brain now. Andy Hayden was in there. You know, I can't remember his bloody name. But that day that I stupidly did something that was regretful, you know, and I've written about it a million times.
Okay.
You know, we're up against Waikato, curtain raiser for the big game.
Yeah.
And I thought that one of these players was, you know, going above and beyond his job as a rugby player, and he gouged my eye. So in front of...
well, you don't have to think. If he gouged your eyes, then...
Yeah, he had his finger, you know.
Yeah.
I was squeezing pretty tight to keep it shut.
Yeah.
Popped my head out of that, and before you know it, he was asleep on the paddock.
Okay.
I put right hand across his chin, followed by left hook, and he was out cold. You feel, you know, you feel okay for about 10 seconds.
Okay.
And then it dawns on you how stupid that act that you've just committed. Yeah,
you've gone past that point of no return.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the worst thing about that whole experience was looking to the sideline.
Okay.
And it was pretty quiet. And then being told to get off the field to take the march, and walking past All Blacks. Okay. Right. Steve McDowell was the guy that used to coach us a little bit.
Oh wow!
And he was also one of New Zealand's, probably, I would say he would be New Zealand's top tight head prop ever.
Yep.
And he used to coach me, and I still remember walking past him as I've taken my march of shame, and he looked at me, nodded his head, and he said I was stupid. And I remember in my head, my facial expression to him was, "Fuck you."
Okay.
That was my facial expression.
Because I was just thinking, like, all right, you knocked somebody out. You know, yeah, all right, you're going to go out, you're going to get marched, you're going to shower up, and you're going to feel pretty bad. You probably get suspended and stuff like this, but you're on the way back, you're on a job, but you do stuff like that, it's like, you know, it's you're almost like committed Harry, like
pretty much, bro.
With your representative career, like.
I know.
Because they'll remember, and you know, they'll just turn to each other and go, this guy's no good.
You've got an All Black great like Steve McDowell and Andy Hayden standing there, and they're just like looking at you, and even Andy Hayden said something to me, like as in, he said something as in, "Oh boy, you shouldn't have done that," you know, but he didn't say anything nasty or nothing.
Okay.
And you know, for me at that point in time, I was like, just go, you know, shove your heads up, you know, I don't give a shit. That was the dumbest thing ever, man.
Well, were you that sort of person at that point in time? Like, were you a real angry kid, or were you just you know?
You know what, man? I think with any kid in South Auckland, it's temperament. You know, when you're angry for every reason under the sun.
Exactly what you're talking about.
But when you're calm, you're the coolest cucumber on the plate. You're fine.
Yeah.
You know, but we kind of all grew up in South Auckland like that. This is how you behave when this is happening, and this is how you behave when this is happening.
I know. Yeah.
So there's no such thing as cool, calm, collect.
Okay.
When you've just punched someone out.
Yeah.
Not for me, or not for a few minutes. You know what I mean?
I don't know, because there was a lot of that going around in South Auckland.
I'm just saying.
There's a lot of guys that you knew that just, I don't know whether they knock people out just for the jokes, just for the fun of it. I don't know whether they have that, you know, whether they feel that, you know, that way afterwards, you know, that remorsefulness, you know, feeling sorry. You know, not only for them, but for yourself as well.
Yeah, no, I think we all did. You know, every time we did something like that, but it would take a few minutes.
Yeah.
It would take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But the minute you're by yourself and you've had a good amount of, you know, time to think about it.
Yeah.
Fuck. Remorse is like unbelievable. Yeah. It's like, I've just fucked that up.
Okay.
And you learn that, you learn that, oh man, you better get that under control.
But do you think that there could have been an opportunity for you to, looking back, and I know it's hard to look back, but an opportunity for you to try and turn things around? Like, obviously, you would have thought that McDowell and Andy Hayden, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, that they could have just seen a kid with so much potential, but just hasn't got the right attitude.
Of course they would.
So maybe if they had seen you again with a different attitude, and it's hard for what do you call it, opportunities like that to present themselves for you, especially around to change people's minds.
Of course.
Because that would have been their first impression of you.
Of course, bro.
You don't
think about it like that.
Yeah.
Not when you're, not when you're 15, 16.
Yeah.
You either this or that.
Okay.
The mentality of breaking things down.
Yeah.
And working through it with that process that you just said.
Yeah.
It didn't exist in your mind.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Oh yeah.
At the same time, the arrogance that I had was my mentality was this, did they not just see I scored a try at Eden?
Yes.
I scored a try at Eden Park.
Yeah.
I've scored 3 tries at Eden Park.
Yeah.
And in my club team, I played either a flanker or a number 8. Every time I made it into representative rugby, they always wanted me in the front row as a tight head prop because they said that's where I played the best. Fuck,
you would have been unbelievable because,
man,
your physique back then, you were big, but it was like all muscle. But you were talking about young kids at that age, just with a solid build, because you know how props traditionally they're just this big lump that runs around on the field. Like to have like somebody running around like hard and solid and playing the game that you do.
Oh, that's the absolute truth. Sometimes your preference of what you want is not what the team needs, and that's what happened. Sep, like I was so strong in the front row. I was so strong I could hold a scrum steady, and that's to my detriment for what I really wanted. I really wanted to be number 7. I really wanted to be that Michael Jones. I really wanted to be that that Murray Mexted number 8.
Yes, I was going to say because I think we're on a parallel with like people like Michael Jones. Well, maybe Michael Jones was there. Maybe a little bit earlier, but you would have had a heroes coming up from the All Blacks or maybe even the Samoan team, back then. And so, who are your heroes coming up from the All Blacks?
It was
growing up.
It was all those good, like all those guys. Buck Shelford was probably Wayne Shelford was probably one of my, and Steve McDowell. I like the tight guys. I like the all the guys that played up there, the Whitten brothers, and only because. I had the experience of working with them. As an up and coming young guy.
That's amazing.
Had the experience of working with like the guy. I mean, Grant Fox was a legend in his time, but you don't really think about it till now. Like even Grant Fox he's a first 5'8" for one of the greatest first 5'8" in rugby. But he would teach you like he knows every single position. And between people like that and Wayne Shelford, they were like, they were like just having grandmasters showing you, and advising you. They were the nicest men on earth. That's the part that hurts the most. And it wasn't because I didn't want to try. It's because I was too embarrassed. Honestly.
Did it just stop just like that?
It just stopped, bro. Because
like after that game at Eden Park. Like, where did you go there? Like, did you just stop playing rugby?
I stopped playing rugby, man.
You're kidding.
I got fined. I didn't get fined. I got booted from playing I got booted for playing representative rugby, and they stood me down. They said it was a 1-year ban.
Okay.
1 year for a 16-year-old is like a lifetime. 1 year of no rugby.
Yes.
It's like a lifetime, bro. And I simply, because of my arrogance, I simply said, fuck it. And fuck you guys. Arrogant because, number one, you know, this is the way I have it in my head. I'm not just good at rugby. I can chase any dream I want.
Okay.
You know, that's how I used to think.
Wow.
That's how I used to think because of all the issues and stuff that I pushed myself through as a young kid.
Yeah.
You know, every time something didn't work, I'm going to get something else. Fuck you guys.
Okay.
You know, I think that's the that's the mentality, Sep.
All right.
Of everything that I've ever done in my life. If it doesn't work here, fuck it, I'm going to chase this.
Okay.
You know.
So you're always keeping yourself busy with
just
something?
Keeping yourself chasing, man.
Okay. Are you still chasing now?
Yeah, bro. Sep, the dream.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The dream doesn't end. Every time I talk to people like Ray Sefo and Mark Hunt, we all chat together. We all pretty, you know.
Oh, that's so good, man.
And we all talk like this. Fuck it, I'm coming back. Nah, you can't come back. You're too fucking this and that. No, watch me.
Yeah.
But that's how.
So you all challenge each other, or?
Yeah, man. It's not even. But it's not even a lie.
Okay.
It's true.
Yeah.
So, oh fuck, that cunt's gonna do it.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
So when Mark goes out there, is in the middle of there, and he's having a fight, he's like, "Fuck, I'm gonna prove I'm gonna prove Clay wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I'm out here to prove him wrong."
But you know what we've all done over the years that's solidified that friendship, bro. Is every time Mark gets in the ring, Sep, I know he can do it.
Yeah.
You know, he's super talented.
Oh man.
I know he can do it. Even if he hasn't trained for a certain fight, people say to me, and you know, smart people, everyone says, he hasn't trained, bro, he's gonna get fucked up.
Okay.
Me, I know what he's got.
Yeah.
You know, I know what he's got. I know what people like Ray Sefo has.
Okay.
I know what people like David Tua has. Me and Dave are very close.
Yeah.
You know, we all know what we've got. And if that thing fucking shines through, it doesn't matter who they're fighting, they'll win.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I win money on betting every single UFC fight. I win.
Okay.
Except for Mark, because my heart says Mark can do it.
Man, you know what? I think that's every Samoan's heart.
That's every single one of us. You know.
It's like, you know.
I fight with the kids here and
he's
everyone
a champ,
here. I say, nah, you watch. Fucking Mark's gonna put that right hand on his chin and the gun go to sleep. You know, okay, a couple of times we've done that. But every time it really mattered, you know, Marky just hasn't done enough.
Yeah, okay.
You know, but that's how solid we all are, man. It's like, don't deny us, man. You know?
Well, I guess when you're talking the talk, I think you three definitely you got some pretty loud appraisals of each other. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, no, man, it's crazy, but it's.
You actually reminded me a lot of my recollection of Mark. Like when you're talking about rugby, man, that fellow was so good at rugby league, eh? I know. Like, I think he came down and played a senior B. He was just mucking around and he put on the boots, and he's just a little kid, just smashing these big old dudes. Like, and I was just like, fuck, this guy's a superstar. Yeah. And then he turned to boxing. I thought he was going to play for the Kiwis, and then all of a sudden he's out in the middle of the ring, on the K1. And
it's mentality, man.
Yeah, I think because I read Mark's book, and there was a lot of opportunities that came his way. Like they came in waves, and he just rode it when they came down. You know what I mean? A lot of the times, it's like you say, he's got that mentality, like, he can just knock out anybody that he's in the ring, like, regardless of whether he's ready for it or not.
I know it sounds, like everyone says it, but it's X factor, man. When you have that thing, you never lose that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, he's been beaten, but like I said, man, every time that dude gets in the ring, I always know that there's a chance that if he lands that shot, he can knock anyone out. And that's the same as David Tua, and it's the same as Ray Sheffield, because I've been around these guys. I know what's in here. So if they're not giving up, then I know that they're not giving up, then why should I be negative about it? Because everyone else.
These are all superstars, eh? Tell us a story about I was stalking your page, and I read one of the articles that you wrote about how that one fight that you fought, and some bloke came into your room and ate all your food or whatever. But he told you that you were going to lose that next fight.
Man, you know the funny thing is, Seth, about people that I've met in my life. You know, like, I believe that certain people come into your life for a reason. Whether that reason be good or bad.
Okay.
You know, they come into your life for a reason.
Yep.
No one can stand this kid. Well, he's grown out now.
Yep.
But when I first came here, he turned up to my, you know, to the weigh-in and all that, and he was there, and I had a chat with him, and I realised, oh, he's a funny bloke. You know? Had a bit of a different way about him, you know.
Okay.
And then I was at the hotel, and he turns up to the hotel, and I says, what are you doing here? He goes, I always hang out with all the fighters. And I said, okay, come to my room. So we went to, you know, to my room.
Yeah.
And I said to him, hey man, you know, I'm going to get some rest and, you know.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. And he goes to me, are you really going to fight tomorrow?
Yeah.
I said, yeah, fucking, of course I'm going to fight.
Yeah.
He goes, you know you're going to lose. So right then and there, I had two thoughts in my mind.
Okay.
First thought, I'm going to knock this cunt out right now.
Yeah, okay.
And the second thought was, this, you know, the second thought was the way he said it,
okay,
and how it made a little bit of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't physically prepared. I wasn't.
Yep.
I'm always mentally prepared. So
yep.
Fighters are always mentally.
Yep.
Some of us live this mentality.
Yep.
But I never am physically prepared. I didn't train. I didn't train as hard as I should have for this fight. But out of nowhere, this bloke just walks into my life for fucking 2 minutes, and he tells me, "You shouldn't fight tomorrow because I think he'll beat you." Fuck you! I'm going to sleep. You know. But when I did lose that fight, I was really upset with myself, because we're two boys that came from the same neighbourhood.
Yes.
But I always thought in my mind and in my heart that I've always got an overmark.
Yep.
I'm more mature.
Yep.
I'm a little bit smarter than him. That's how I thought back then. You know? Yep. And going into that fight, I was so confident. I didn't have to be 100%.
Okay.
I didn't have to be 100%. All I had to do was stick to a game plan, and I know I'd be moving on into the next rounds.
Yep.
Failed miserably, bro. Failed miserably. Why? Because you underestimated somebody.
Yeah.
You know? You thought you had it in the bag before that bell even rung. And this guy, he still hangs around now. He still fucking brings me.
He still comes into the gym?
Still comes to the gym to visit me. And the reason why I allow it to be, because he is a nuisance. He's annoying to everybody.
Okay.
You know, he's always bringing people, telling them the truth about things.
Yeah.
People always ask me, why do you still let Peter come here? You know, he disrupts people. And he's not the friendliest guy. I says, because I didn't give you know, him the trust that I should have when that happened to me.
Yeah.
That was like, you know, he still hangs around. I tell him off.
Yeah.
I tell him, hey, stop talking shit. Stop talking to this guy. Don't talk to her. She doesn't want to talk to you. You know, even on Facebook, I tell him, hey, be quiet. Don't talk. But people like that walking through my door, they're like my little brother, you know.
So that was the fight. Was that fight that led to Mark's run to winning the K1?
Mark beat me.
Yeah.
Then he beat what's his name? Then he beat Ronnie.
Okay.
Then he beat Ronnie Seffel to go to the who did he fight in the final? He knocked out Phil Fagan in the final. Ray and Mark fought about 4 years.
That was the famous fight.
Yeah, into their K1.
Where they just stood there, just holding, punching each other.
Look, man, at the time, we still considered Mark not to be at that level.
Well, okay.
You know what I mean? Like Ray's at that top.
Yeah.
That top level.
Yeah.
Of probably the top 6 guys in the world in striking. We didn't put Mark at that point in time until that fight.
Yeah.
My jaw dropped when I watched that fight, not because of the give and take of both fighters, but because of the sheer, just the sheer essence of what Mark Hunt has,
I think it just, when I watch it, it just seems like you knock that person's out, you knock out his pride, and it's their pride that just kept them standing there. It's like, there's no way nobody was going to knock them out, because if that's what's going to keep them there, going toe to toe.
I'll tell you why it hits home for me, Seth, because I've been a sparring partner for Ray Seffel for a long time.
Yep.
I know how well Ray hits. I know how hard Ray hits.
Yep.
It's not so much he hits as hard as some of the big guys, but he hits very well. And for Mark to stand there and cop the punishment that he copped from Ray, and then give back that puts every single one of us in our place.
Yep.
That day I just looked at him and went, fuck. I underestimated this fight.
He's from he's a product of the mean streets of South Auckland, isn't he?
Yeah, man.
He's a full-on street fighter, eh? Like coming up from that way.
His brain
is,
his brain just does not have any, it doesn't have anything negative when it comes to a fight.
Yeah.
Most of us, bro, there will be a
that question mark.
Yes, that's it.
It's like,
there will be a moment, man.
Yeah.
And whether you're physically fatiguing, or whether you're getting physically beat up, there's a moment in all of us that goes, fuck, you might lose this one, bro.
Yeah.
People like this guy.
He's got that look.
Yeah. And as much as I've watched everybody, I can pretty much say, this guy's moment has come. I haven't seen it in that fella yet. maybe in a couple of fights. Yeah. But it's not that. It's not that look of I'm done. It's never that. It's always this guy's got me. That because we've seen him lose, bro. Yeah. But I haven't seen him lose. Yeah. You know what I mean? Anyway, stop talking about that guy.
Yeah. It's just moving right along. All right. Hey everybody, thank you so much for tuning in to Clay's interview. Had a lot of fun doing it. It's actually the first one. The next episode will be out in a couple of days. Really looking forward to putting that one out. That's going to be great. Also, don't forget to like, comment and share. I'd love to hear from you. Love to get some feedback. And also, don't forget to check out the links. I'll leave them at the bottom for Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. So stay tuned, and and thank you so much for your support again. Lots of alofa, to whāsoi fua.